It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? It's your boy Dave from the Four-Way coming to you all the way from my podcast studio in San Jose, Califas for another edition of the Shoe Shine. Back to our regularly scheduled times on Monday nights. Joining me all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Irish Drew Evo. Drew Evo, que pasa, homie? What's cracking?
What's up, Dave?
Hey, last week we had a great show, even though it was on a Thursday, man. I felt like the vibe was there, like the vibe that we've had for a very long time. If you're new to the Shoe Shine and you like what we're doing, it's your first time catching it, don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, and drop us a comment. Let us know how we can do a better job, because it was a great weekend for boxing, Drew. But before we even get to that, man, congratulations to your Eagles that look unstoppable. But all of a sudden, Niners got like a new lease on life, man, with this guy named Purdy. And you know about rookies taking over a team, because was it Jalen Hurts? He was once a rookie, right? And he's looking sensational. And all of a sudden, it seems like the Niners have found the guy who was the last draft pick is beating Tom Brady. And for those of you who have never heard my story, I'm from the Bay Area and I'm as old as Tom Brady because I played him in the Western Catholic Athletic League for high school football. So, hey, it's just like boxing, football, boxing, any major sport. You could be the top of the game champion, but at some point, a young gun is going to come in and make you look like the old man that you are. So congratulations to Purdy for being the first rookie to ever beat Tom Brady. Unless you're Sergio Maravilla Martinez, guys. I don't know if you've kept up with this former world champion at 160, but Sergio Maravilla Martinez, he looked pretty damn good last night. Drew, I saw the highlight reel because that's all I was able to catch at the WBA convention in Florida. Sergio Maravilla Martinez, 46, 47. I don't even know, Drew. He gets another KO. And let's not forget Manny Pacquiao, who came in at 160 pounds on the scale fighting in Korea. Lord knows what he was doing in South Korea, Drew. But yeah, two aging champions, one looking a little bit soft around the midsection, and Manny Pacquiao, who says he could still fight Spence, says, hey, let me fight Spence. And Sergio Maravilla Martinez, who looks like he's legitimately trying to get some action at 160, man, campaigning at the WBA event in Florida. So shout out to Sergio Maravilla Martinez. Drew, great weekend for boxing, guys. If you just tuned in, I appreciate y'all. JC, I see you. Roy, thanks for dropping by. Sin City Syndicate and everybody else. Make sure you let people know that the Shoe Shine is on. If you want to tap in, the phone line is open, 702-710-3627. Drew, last week's rant was quite the epic one, man. I'm going to pour myself a shot of tequila. As some of you know, I'm going to be headed out to Las Vegas this weekend for the Frank Martin versus Mikel Rivera fight. So this will be the only drink I will be having all week until I get to Vegas. Drew, what about that rant last week, man? You got another one? Got another one in store?
Oh, yeah, I got another one. I had to blow my nose real fast. I'm sorry I left, but yeah, I got another one.
Oh, good. We'll save it. Let's save it for the end of the show so we can get more people up in here. Let everybody know the Shoe Shine is on if you want to pass on the info in your social media. Epic weekend, Drew. It started off Saturday afternoon in Leeds in the UK. It had some great action, but it started off with the women fighting. the co-main event, I would say, was blew my expectations, Drew, because I have to say, man, I think Ebanie Bridges has silenced the critics. Not only is she flamboyant and known for her lingerie, which I have to say, Drew, I believe you got that one incorrect as far as what she was going to wear. Was not navy blue, it was black. And Shannon Courtney in the white and pink. They had some horrible words exchanged, if you didn't hear it. I think Shannon Courtney called her a fat cunt, excuse my language, fat cunt, and a skanky stripper. Which at the end of the interview, when Ebanie Bridges won convincingly, a stoppage win in women's. Drew, were you impressed with Ebanie Bridges' gutsy performance?
Yeah, but I just, I just don't really see her going too far into this. Like, yeah, maybe it is time for her to unify. But like Shannon Courtney, she lost to. Even though I had it a close fight, other people didn't have a close fight and everything. I don't think Shannon Courtney is really that good of a fighter, and she lost, and Ebanie Bridges lost to her.
Oh, okay. I got my names incorrect. I apologize. The woman she fought this weekend is O'Connell. It's Shannon Courtney seems to be the former champion that she's been avoiding, right? That's the one person she is avoiding and said she'll have to. I mean, this is what turned me off originally in a post-fight interview. She said that the woman could wait, that she was insignificant and can keep waiting, right? But here comes O'Connell, a local Australian competitor. And Drew, she just beat the crap out of her, man. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, man. But there was a moment in the earlier rounds where it appeared Ebanie Bridges was in danger, but she came back to dominate with her aggressive style. Not much for defense. I think maybe you're saying that's where her ceiling is, that she doesn't have great defense. She seems to be all offense. So you could tag her. She got tagged a few times. What happens when someone with better power comes along?
She is the female Ruslan Pradikov. That's who I compare her to. And everything. That's who I really compare her style to, Ruslan Pradikov. Like, he doesn't move his head a lot. He goes and bangs with everybody. And for every hit he gives, he takes a couple hits, depending on who he fights. And, like, I don't think she really is that good of a defensive fighter, and she's going to bang with people. And like your success rate ain't really going to take you a long way in your career, being a person that's only wants to bang with people and not be intelligent and be somewhat of a defensive fighter and everything, because people that bang, their careers don't really last that long and everything. And if they do, like the effects of the battles and everything can really mess them up in the long run.
Yeah, Drew, I don't know what's going on with the world of. It's like, all right, this is throwing me off, man. But did you see the OnlyFans advertisement all over Ebanie Bridges? Because our boy, I just found out, Lukey Boxing of ITR Boxing, that they've signed a deal too. And make sure you guys check out Lukey Boxing. He's got a great book on Amazon available for everybody that loves boxing. But they just inked a deal with OnlyFans too, Drew. So is it only a matter of time before we can start selling content on OnlyFans?
I'm not doing no X-rated content. I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I don't know what ITR Boxing has up their sleeve, but apparently, man, everybody, the world of boxing is getting into OnlyFans, so there's a place for it, I suppose. But I would welcome any type of revenue. Hey, salutes to my homegirl, Mom Food Planet Things. She's got a great channel on YouTube. Make sure you guys check her out. Thank you for stopping by. So we're talking about the women's who fought. She retains the title, the 118 pounds. There seems to be only one woman that's a real threat. Drew, do you think and anticipate seeing her down the line fighting Shannon?
She's going to have to eventually. Like seriously, you don't want to avenge your only loss? Like, And like, if she's trying to make excuses not to fight her, means you know you can't beat her. You don't think you can beat her, and like that's another thing. Like, why? Like, and you got Eddie Hall saying, "Oh, it's time for her to get unification, undisputed, and everything." The thing about it is she ready to go undisputed?
Yeah.
Like the thing about it is, I just don't see her being undisputed. Like the long wait, she's like, I think she's 36.
Yeah, former math teacher, respectively,
and former wing card girl,
and
everything. I think she's 36, so she kind of got into the game late and everything. So like, and this is probably her ceiling.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It seems like women can transition into professional boxing. There's been women as old as there was a Japanese women's fighter that recently contended, and she was 45. We were just talking about, Tom Brady and Sergio Maravilla Martinez, who fought last night at the age of 47 with a KO win. It's amazing how some people could keep fighting. And, of course, Manny Pacquiao well into his 40s, even though it was an exhibition. Drew, I recently heard Alicia Baumgartner cannot get, we're talking about women who got easy rides holding titles. Well, there's a title holder in her division named Choi from South Korea, who apparently spends most of her time with advertising and modeling campaigns and hasn't fought a woman that's remotely ranked in years. And Alicia Baumgartner cannot get that title. Apparently they can't get that fight that she wants so she could be undisputed. And Michaela Mayer likes to interject herself. I don't know what's going on with Michaela, man. People telling her, hey, focus on your own self. Why are you worried about what Alicia Baumgartner is doing? But women's boxing continues to gain momentum and attract the attention of sports fans. I'm all for it, Drew. like
I'm really sorry. Like, I'm tired of hearing about the Michaela Mayer situation, because, tell you the truth, she still is very salty about her loss. She cannot accept her defeat. And like, if you keep it, like, she keeps going down this road, she's gonna lose again. And it's not gonna be the Baumgartner. It's gonna be somebody way less than she should be. Like you need to accept your loss. Like, seriously, you thought you won the fight? Go back to the drawing board and watch the fucking fight again, and you see where you lost at. You felt all you were throwing most of the fight was jabs, but she was hitting you with power shots and popping you and countering you. Like, I clearly saw you only won 3 rounds at most and everything. People can be generous and give you 4 rounds, but you still clearly lost the fight. And stop being salty. Like, I don't know who the fuck tells you you won this fight and everything, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get a decision because this is actually a top rank card and she's a matchroom fighter and everything. But nah, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
They gave her the fight. They gave Alicia Baumgartner the fight because they clearly saw her winning the fight. And she landed more meaningful punches. More accurate.
Just want to remind everybody, if you just joined us, you can hit the like button, or you can give us a call and join the conversation at 702-710-3627. We're going to talk about the IBF new featherweight champion of the world. Drew, I thought this was going to be just something that I wouldn't see at all. I mean, we're talking about Warrington, the 126 IBF featherweight champion of the world, fighting in his backyard in Leeds. And it was the dirtiest fight I've seen all year. I mean, really an atrociously dirty fight. But one where I thought Lopez was going to do significantly better, Drew. But early on, Venado Lopez versus Josh Warrington of the UK. Let's take a look at this vicious a headbutt, Drew. It was a vicious headbutt that opened up early.
The head.
Drew, this was kind of a theme, because not only in this fight for the 126-pound title, but also we'll talk about Lopez versus Teofimo Lopez's fight with Sandor Martin, man. It was a vicious headbutt, but this seemed to really bother Lopez early, and it set the tone for what Warrington was going to do all night, and that was play dirty tactics, man. Behind the neck, low shots to the hips. I mean, it was a combination of everything at Lopez, and somehow Lopez still manages to sway the judges and win this title, man. It was nothing short of miraculous. Or do you agree with the decision?
I look at it like this. First of all, I had Lopez winning 8-4 on my card. 116 to 112, I had him winning. Like, I just don't really see how, like, Josh Warrington did a lot of dirty tactics in that fight. Headbutt, hit him behind the head, hit him in the back, like, you name it, he's done it. And it really, if you look at it like this, Warrington is not ever going to be a top 10 fighter in a weight class again. He shouldn't be a top 10 fighter, because I look at it like this: Warrington was fully exposed that fight. If you look at it, Josh Warrington has one main problem, and he's not going to be able to fix it because he's not a good enough boxer to keep somebody off of him. He has a problem, a big, huge problem with physical fighters. Guys that can bully him, guys that can throw punches hard at him. It's really, he had a problem with Lopez the whole time. Lopez was walking him down. Lopez was nailing like multiple punches at one time, hard punches that were getting to him, and he wasn't doing damage to Lopez. Those punches were actually doing more damage to Warrington. And I look at it like this: he can't keep him off him because he's not a good enough boxer to do it. And I don't see him winning another title unless it's a vacated title against a nobody. I don't think Josh Warrington is really going to be that next big, like, featherweight, UK featherweight fighter and everything, because he lost twice. He lost both times in his backyard, and he lost both times to Mexican fighters.
Right. Hey, I just want to say this. I was surprised by how large Warrington looked as a featherweight against El Venado Lopez, Luis Alberto Lopez, El Venado Lopez out of Mexicali, because for those of you guys who follow the sport boxing and know the Top Rank stable, we know that Lopez had an upset win against Andy El Tiburon Vences, a friend of the show from San Jose, California. And he also beat Gabe Flores pretty bad, but at 130 pounds, Drew, somehow El Venado Lopez can easily make 126, got himself this title opportunity, and snatches the belt from the local hometown fighter in his hometown. Really short of miraculous, Drew. And I'm shocked because there is a fighter who's not officially signed to Top Rank. He's actually with Banner Promotions, and shout out to Thompson Boxing, because our boy Ruben Villa from Salinas is the one of the only two guys that has an incredible win over this guy, El Venado Lopez. And I immediately responded to Sam Garcia Boxing, who is Ruben Villa's trainer, after the fight on social media. And he sent a shout out to Bruce Trampler. How about this rematch on Top Rank? But Top Rank shortly thereafter let everybody know that Mick Conlan, two-time Olympic medalist, Drew, who recently he got KO'd. It's one of the biggest KOs of the year, in my opinion, of early in this year, is going to get a crack at El Venado Lopez. And this is something that's genius, I think. When Top Rank signs you, they stand behind you, man. It's like, okay, they know you got dropped against the fellow other UK belt holder earlier this year. But they're going to give him a shot against El Venado Lopez. And this is one fight that is going to be extremely interesting, Drew, because I think Mick Conlan can box. But one thing about Mick Conlan, Drew, that's already been, is that his chin is suspect, man. If El Venado Lopez can tag him up just enough, I think he retains the title, and this is going to backfire on him. I know it's very early to discuss this. Here's a guy who really was looked at as a journeyman, one of these typical south of Baja California journeymen, in El Venado Lopez, who was brought up to Top Rank to fight Gabe Flores, their star prospect, mess him all up. Now he's the world champion, Drew. Everything has changed, but man, good for Mick Conlan. It looks like he's going to get a second crack at that featherweight title. I myself would like to see Ruben Villa get a crack eventually. But again, he's not signed to Top Rank, even though he's fine to Top Rank. Nando Lamas, what up, homie? Looking forward to your call. If you can drop a call today. He says, Mick Conlan got a quick KO this Saturday in his fight. That's right. I actually missed that. I think he got a first or second round knockout, Drew. One of the reasons they're trying to, get him this fight as soon as possible. He fought too. It was on a lesser known card in Ireland. One thing that's tripping me, why hasn't Mick Conlan come back to fight in the East Coast, Drew? He had a really good audience of his own here in the East Coast, in the New York area.
I was able to watch Mike Collins fight live because Top Rank had a Irish card on ESPN Plus in Belfast, Northern Ireland this past Saturday. And it was mostly all Irish fighters, except for a couple of guys from different countries fighting and everything. Mike Collins' second round KO, it was just, it's a tune-up. Keep him, stay active.
Exactly.
Stay busy fighting everything. But I did see some potential in a couple other guys. One of them is the IBO light heavyweight champion and everything, as a potential future challenger for someone, but I don't know. It was an okay card for Irish boxing.
Well, it's like I said, not only are we talking about these fights, but there was other cards. You had that fight, like you mentioned, in Ireland that got very, very little attention, but kept Mick Conlan in position for another title opportunity. And also, like I said, Manny Pacquiao fought Lord knows where on some South Korean network, and yesterday's fights too. So Drew, let's move on to this Top Rank card that featured some of their best prospects. Baby Anderson as the co-main event looked sensational. Xander Zayas looked to really get a step-up fight now that I'm seeing Xander Zayas against competition, against guys that can hit back. I mean, he got a solid win in Xander Zayas, but I mean, this is what I've been asking Top Rank to do at this point in his development. He's approaching 20 years old. He's looked great against low-level opposition, but every time I see him in there again, I want to see him in against people that are going to test him and teach him new things. So even though he didn't look great, he didn't look like the Xander Zayas that we've all been seeing, this is the path that we need to see these young prospects in, get challenged each and every time. Eventually, pretty soon, I hope it's going to be against a kid that we have at least some name recognition. We got a call right now. Let's take it right here. All right, 510, you were on the Shoe Shine.
Hey, what's up, Dave? What's up, Drew? How you guys doing?
Hey, Nando. By the way, Nando, it was nice talking to you on Twitter about this 49ers thing. I think we were going back and forth about this guy Purdy, right?
Yeah, dude, I'm excited about him.
You excited about it? Yeah. I think you're right, man. I think he reminds me mainly of Jeff Garcia, the way Jeff Garcia came out of a smaller college, Iowa State, not necessarily a Division 1A school, but man, hey, Jeff Garcia got us to the playoffs. That's all I can ask for right now is to see Drew Evo's Philly Eagles in the NFC playoffs.
I already called it, dude. We're knocking them out in the playoffs, dude. Sorry, Drew. I like you, man, but strict business. I'm strict business.
Not gonna knock them out. Tell you the truth, the only team that has a chance to beat the Eagles are the Kansas City Chiefs.
They're a great team. I ain't going to lie about the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't stand them. I can't stand them.
You also got to realize you and Debo Samuel to the playoffs.
Yeah, we did lose a very key player.
He'll be ready for Philly, though. He'll be ready for Philly. He'll be ready for Philly, though.
There you go. There you go. We'll be ready.
That's if you make it out of the first round. Gotta realize.
Ain't nobody got nothing for us, dude. We own the Cowboys. Ain't nobody got nothing for us. Nobody.
You can beat the Cowboys, but you never know. You might have a letdown and everything.
You're hoping. I know you're hoping, Drew, but it ain't happening, homie.
But here's the thing. You still got to beat a couple teams because you'll likely will be the third seed and we'll play the lowest seed remaining out of them. And I doubt it will be you guys, because I think there's going to be one. I think one of the lowest seeds is actually going to upset Tampa Bay.
Hey, Dave, Drew sounds scared, doesn't he?
He might be a little nervous.
I ain't scared at all, bro. I'm telling you, that's
why he's going
to win the Super Bowl this year.
Hey, this is a good time to do this. I know we're not. The last time we've had a actual wager on the Shoe Shine was the pie bet. I called it Cinco de Payo, Drew, and I want to do a giveaway.
I remember that.
I want to do a giveaway for Christmas. All right, so I'm gonna give away latest edition of Lukey Boxing. Now, to get this prize, there's two things. First of all, you're going to have to follow me on my Instagram so you can send me your address. So follow me at shoeshine_boxing. So I'm going to give away a prize. I'm going to try to get a signed autograph book by Lukey Boxing, his latest book. It's available on Amazon. I'll ship it right to you. Now, Drew, most likely we're going to do another pie bet, and we're going to see who's going to take a pie, because I think the Philly Eagles and the 49ers are going to play each other in the NFC playoffs. So if they do, I will do a pie bet with you, Drew. And tonight, what I'm going to do right now, because I've been wanting to do this for Christmas. All right. If you can tell me in the comments what was the wager that was the reason why Drew Evo took a pie to the face on the shoe shine. All right. Your clue is Cinco de Payo. You're going to have to go over there and watch that episode. If hopefully someone will get it today. If not, you guys can come back next Monday and give me that, and I'll be giving away that book. But make sure you follow me at shoeshine_boxing, and I'll send that book to you for Christmas.
But here's the killer right here. If nobody guesses it, I get the autograph book.
That sounds good. So what you're looking for is drop it in the comments. First person to do it today or next Monday, if nobody gets it. What was the wager that made Drew Evo take a pie to the face? That person will get a book. I'll send it to you. Like I said, just make sure you follow me at shoeshine_boxing, and you will get that for Christmas. Now, I got Nando on the phone, and I know last week things got heated, and people really appreciated that, and I'm sure that Teofimo LOpez is going to get people heated, because Teofimo, in my eyes, dodged a narrow loss to Sandor Martin from Spain. And really, it comes down to this, Drew. But before that, man, did you guys see post-fight the words that were exchanged? I'm going to play that clip right here because it's concerning. It's a little bit concerning here. What was caught on air.
Let's get a picture. Bro, do I still have it? You do, man. Do I still got it? Yeah.
A whole lot of drama going on still. I thought he was getting a divorce. I mean, I really don't care about his personal life, but it seems that his personal life has interjected into his professional career, his father being his trainer, multiple people all over the world calling for him to let go of his dad as his primary trainer. Drew, he let go of Gamache. He let go of this nutritionist that was doing a great job with him. His wife is in the audience, or ex-wife is in the audience with his kids, man, and he's doubting himself. The last time I saw him anyone doubt themselves publicly like that was Victor Ortiz, and we all know how that ended, how his career trajectory went after that. So, Nando, I'll ask you first, man. Is there some real concern now for Teofimo with his performance Saturday night, and also with what he was caught on microphone saying?
For me personally, it's a little bit of both. Like, there is concern, right? Because, you know, all the drama after the fight, him doubting himself, and, you know, in some people's opinion, he got a gift decision, you know. In some people's, not my, but that's where I don't have that opinion. I think it's hard to look good against somebody like Sandor Martin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm in my 40s, dude. I've been watching people like Sandor Martin like since I was a kid. You know, like the Pernell Whitakers, the Rigos, those type of fighters, man. You know, I respect them, but they really only like they really take away from guys that sell the tickets and try to put on a good show for the fans that pay for those tickets, you know. So he was in there basically being a negative the entire fight, you know, and the whole time Teofimo was trying to make the fight with them. This guy is, you know, it's boxing, and I respect that, but at a certain time, man, you got to put a little bit of offense in it. Catterall's another guy just like that too, man. You know, you have Josh Taylor chasing him around the ring. And all he went to do is do the counter punch, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's hard to look good against somebody like Sandor Martin. You know, that's my bottom line. I think hopefully, like you mentioned, Dave, maybe you could bring back Gamache. It seems like he did really good work with Teo and his dad. You know, they got along pretty good. So I think that's an excellent opinion. You know, bring Gamache back.
Absolutely. You know, I kind of alluded that it was going to, I did give last week my pick that Teofimo would get the nod. Unfortunately, he got the nod, in my opinion, because the referee missed the second knockdown. But I also alluded it was going to look that he would look poor because that's the kind of fighter Sandor Martin. He is a slick southpaw that can box in the style of Erislandy Lara, in the style of Bubu Andrade, minus the pop that Bubu Andrade has, Drew. Drew, do you think that his that headbutt that was a huge factor in this fight against Sandor Martin, where he broke his nose early, played a big part in the lack of attack or the lack of offense from Sandor Martin?
Yeah, you could say it, but like, to tell you the truth, I didn't really see much offense from Teofimo either. Like it was a horrible fight. I feel bad for everybody that had to sit there and watch that fight ringside and everything, but it's really concerning what I saw Saturday night, and I feel bad for him. I really feel bad for Teofimo because I'll be honest with you, I think this dude is mentally done. Like, when you question yourself, you're done. And there's only one thing else that can go wrong. You fight a better fighter, or you fight one of these champions, and you get knocked the hell out by one of them. He's done, all the way done. Because if you're mentally not into it and then get knocked out while you're mentally not into it, you're never getting the fighter back. You're never getting him back. And he's on that borderline that he's mentally is out of it. And you gotta feel bad for him, but at the same time, for how cocky he is at times, you gotta be like, serves him right and everything. But I look at it like this, man. There was a lot of things. I thought Sandor Martin won the fight. I had it 6-4 with a 10-8 round in the second round. And I thought that second knockdown was a knockdown. It's like this. It doesn't matter if you land a punch and if he's any part of his hand or any part of his leg or bottom hit the canvas, that isn't considered a knockdown. Doesn't matter if he slips, if he gets punched and he slips, that's a knockdown. And that's what happened. It was a knockdown.
Well, I want to ask Nando, sorry, Drew, but let me ask Nando this, Drew, because I agree with you that it was a knockdown. But Nando, is it concerning that somebody as probably pillow-fisted as Sandor Martin most people would say in his career, that he was able to lure Teofimo and walk into two shots that were, to me, legitimate knockdowns? I mean, isn't it concerning that if Sandor Martin was able to do that as he goes up in level of opposition against maybe like in Arnold Barboza Jr., Jose Ramirez, former, and of course Regis Prograis, who had a lot to say this weekend. Isn't it concerning?
Oh, absolutely, dude. It has to be concerning, right? I'm wondering if maybe he should go into like Drew was saying, like he's had a lot of motivation issues. It seems like, to get his mind in the game. I'm almost wondering if he should do a sink or swim fight with Regis Prograis. I think Regis Prograis' style is a little more suited to Teofimo's offense, right? Like, he's gonna mix it up with Teofimo. Yeah. So I kind of wonder, what do you guys think? Do you think he should fight Regis? Because I guess Jose Ramirez is going to turn down, or is no longer in line for that WBC shot, and now it's Teofimo with his victory. Do you think he should take Regis Prograis next?
Wow. I saw that back and forth where Regis this weekend was accusing Jose Ramirez, saying who the hell gives up a title fight opportunity for a wedding? I saw that go back and forth, but I thought he was still in line. So, Nando, what you're saying is you've read that Teofimo has an opportunity with this win to get that title shot right away.
Like, I look at if you watch the fight, every time Teofimo will go in, he will throw the punch, but while he throws that punch, his non-throwing hand will be down. And when Teofimo will go in to throw the punch, Sandor Martin would be able to go in there and counter him, pop shot him, and then stick and move. And the thing about it is, Teofimo said, "Oh, you win." But here's the thing. He didn't win. He suckered you. But it's your main job to cut the ring off. And he did not do that.
Yeah, you bring up a great point, Drew. That is something that Canelo Alvarez has just become a master at, is cutting off the ring, something that early on in his career, he seemed to chase opponents down like Lara, but now he's a master at cutting off the ring. It's going to be important. Yes, Regis Prograis is a southpaw, but he can crack and he can lure you into traps, Drew. Now, I've seen Top Rank do this with a lot of people that they have that are like their star, he's a world champion. He was almost undisputed, but they have no problem like putting you in a fight to, like you say, Nando, sink or swim. Just like, and if you sink, they just let you go, man. They just don't re-sign your contract, or they figure it all out and just let you go. I think that if Teofimo can't get past somebody like Arnold Barboza Jr., who also fights out of Southern California with Rick Miriagan, great manager down in Fresno area, if he can't get past somebody like Arnold Barboza Jr., he's never going to get a title shot. And so he might as well take it now, man. But it's going to require some serious retooling and one intense camp, because I don't think you could fix what's wrong with Teofimo between now and the Regis Prograis opportunity.
I don't see... I'm going to tell you this right now. Teofimo fights Regis Prograis knocks him out.
So what do you do?
I'm telling you that right.
What do you do if you're Bob Arum? Nando, what do you do if you're Bob Arum? Did you answer your own question? Do you just let him fight Regis Prograis now? If he loses, let him go?
I think so, dude. I mean, like Teofimo in real life, it seems like a humble kid, but it seems like his dad is just a kind of a pain in the butt, right? Really heavy-handed in his career. And just knowing how Bob Arum, the older he gets, the less patience he seems to have, I wouldn't be surprised to say, hey, man, the sink or swim. We don't want to be paying you $2 or $3 million a fight to fight the Arnold Barbozas of the world, man. If we're going to be paying you that much, we got to put you in a big fight. This fight was supposed to be the tune-up and then on to the big fight, I don't think they're going to do what like Golden Boy has done with Munguia or any of that stuff, man, where they like let him have 4 or 5 fights to get back on track. They're gonna try, like you said, the Top Rank has a track record, man.
If
you're starting to fall through, you're starting to fall behind, they'll throw you in like they did Gabe Flores, right?
Right.
And they'll throw you in and say good luck. Yep.
This is really right now potentially could be a waste of an investment and everything, because like as you guys say, you're not paying them $2 or $3 million to fight an Arnold Barboza or another low-ranked junior welterweight and everything. So, like, the best bet is to work out an agreement and get a Regis Prograis and everything, or just make the money, have and let him fight Josh Taylor and everything. I don't think he beats Josh Taylor either. I don't even he beats Jose Morales. And I'll tell you this right now, 2 out of 3 of them stopped Teofimo. I really do not think. I think the day that Teofimo, like that Teofimo that beat Lomachenko, we ain't seeing him no more. And the fucked up thing is, and I'm being honest with you, the fucked up thing is, when he beat Lomachenko, he got too hyped, like he cemented his legacy, and he is the pound for pound #1 fighter, or he's the best of all time. He lost motivation after beating Lomachenko because he beat the #1 pound for pound fighter at the time. And instead of staying motivated, staying ready, keep his head in the game and everything, defending that title, all he did was trying to talk. All he did was postpone. Fights were postponed, Kambosos for more than a year. Then it got like personal, and you let Kambosos get into his head, and all this shit went down. And like, he hasn't got over it. He has not got over this fucking loss to Kambosos. And that is one of the main reasons why Teofimo is never, ever going to be a world champion again. And you're going to have to put him against Prograis. You're going to have to put him against Josh Taylor. If I was Bob Arum, I would do everything I can to make sure he fights Josh Taylor and not Regis Prograis, because you get 100% of the profits instead of having to share it with Paul Bellum. because you're going to have to make a fucking deal with Probellum because Regis Prograis is the champion and he's promoted by Probellum.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not going to get a shot at that newly crowned champion Puello from the Dominican Republic because he's got to deal with PBC. So the weakest champion that just picked up that vacant belt, it's not going to get a shot at him. And you know what? Here, I'm just going to say this about wrapping this whole segment up about Teofimo. I've seen the patterns that Bob Arum has, and I think that, honestly, with Shakur Stevenson now at 135 pounds in any moment probably making a move to 140 by next year, Drew, and also having Devin Haney still under contract, I don't think he gives a shit. I think he's looking at the future and cash out, and somehow he's gonna snatch out a 140-pound title list with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. Those guys will secure one of those belts along the way, and if Regis Prograis is the guy to have it, man, I'm sure someday we may see Regis Prograis versus someone like Shakur Stevenson at 140. We'll see what Teofimo can do. Mental health is real problems, and he seems to be struggling with mental health in between camps, and I wish him the best, man. I wish Teofimo the best. Like some of you have said, it seems like he's a good kid, but his dad is in his head too much, and I did not see his dad not give him the tools necessary to make the adjustments, Drew. Either not in camp, hasn't taught him how to cut off the ring, and also just doesn't know how to vocalize it in the corner midway through the fight. Midway through the fight, there's no advice. There's no change in direction there's no adjustments being made.
Dave,
yeah.
Teofimo Sr. is nothing but a glorified hype man. That's all he is.
He got him pretty far. Yeah. Go ahead, Nando, because we got another caller on the line ready to chime in.
All right, real quick before I go. If I was a manager for Teofimo, and I had the choice of what I could do with him next before his next big fight, I would send him to Freddie Roach out here on the West Coast. Get him away from his dad. Get him to a guy that has rehabilitated a lot of great fighters, man. I mean, Cotto, he was kind of a broken fighter when he came to Freddie, and Freddie, got him back in the game, I think that'd be the best thing. If I was his manager, I'd say, hey, you can go out to the West Coast, get with Freddie Roach, you're gonna get better sparring out there, and that's the only way you're gonna go forward and go in a positive direction with your career. Because the way you are here with your dad, all the drama, you get away from it. It was the same thing I thought about AJ, man. AJ needed to get away from all the drama back home, too. Mm-hmm. He just wouldn't do it. And hopefully Teofimo does it, man. But, hey, thank you for taking my phone call. I appreciate it,
Nando. We'll talk to you next week, man. Appreciate it.
All right, bye. Thank you, bye.
All right, the great Nando. By the way, guys, if you're just tuning in, I'm going to take this call real quick. But remember, excuse me. Excuse me, guys. Chicano Prophet just joined us. I'm going to let you guys know about this. I'm going to be giving away Lukey Boxing. Just wrote a book. It's fantastic. He has an extended version on Amazon. I will mail it to you if you let us know in the chat as soon as possible. Why did Drew Evo take a pie to the face on the Cinco de Mayo episode? Make sure you drop that in the comments and you add me at Instagram at shoeshine_boxing, and I'll send that book your way. So I'm going to take the next call right here from the 661.
Chicano.
Hey, 661, you're on the air.
Hey, Shoeshine. Hey, Drew. What's up, my guys, man? I just want to tell you guys happy Monday. You guys are on point like always, man. I like everything, man. Big shout out to you. And please subscribe to Shoeshine. And I just want to say, yeah, man, I just want to get my little 2 cents on Teofimo. I agree with you, man. I think I think he just don't have that mental edge, man. And what do they say that it's the boxing is, what is it, like 80% mental, right? So he has the qualities, you know what I mean, the physicality, but he does need a better coach. Because I agree with Drew, his dad is just a hype man. He can't make adjustments, and if you want to be a great fighter, you got to be able to make adjustments. You know what I mean? Whether it's late, mid rounds, you got to be able to make adjustments. And it seems like they just hype him up, and he has yes men around him. And clearly, with that video of him questioning himself, he needs some mental help, man. And I don't want to see him go away. I think he's good for the sport, but I don't think he should fight right now. I think he needs to get. I don't want to get into his personal life. But I saw a clip where, they tried to get his son and they wouldn't let him. And I don't know what's going on with that. That's personal. But I think that personal is also affecting him in the ring, But a lot of people forgetting, though, that, they're not giving credit to Sandro Marman. You know, for those judges, man, I don't want to call it a robbery. You know what I mean? But like, yes, it was a close fight, but I clearly had, you know, Sandro winning, and that's sad that they didn't give him the win. That he could have get opportunity. You know what I mean? I think he would have lost against Regis Porteous, Sandro Martin, but at least he would have got that payday. You know what I mean? That he deserved, and that's what happens in the sport of boxing, man. A lot of fighters are not well known. They give trouble. Sometimes they deserve the nod, and because of the name, they don't get it, and then they get lost, man. And that's not cool. You know what I mean? Because everybody's risking their life in boxing, and everybody deserves the opportunity, especially if they clearly win. And I do agree that was a second knockdown, because like it says, as long as your hand touches the canvas, it was. I do say it was a second knockdown.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, and by the way, if you guys don't know, this is my boy Jose El Compita from Urban AZ on YouTube. Make sure you check them out. That is our homeboy who owns that channel's former Cardinals and Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to Derek Ware as Drew puts on his glasses. Hey, Compita, I'll see you in Vegas this weekend.
For sure, man.
All right, man. That's the great Jose El Compita. And make sure you guys check him out at Urban AZ, because I might be on that channel this weekend, man. Thanks, Compita.
Yeah.
Peace out.
No problem, man. You guys have a good night.
You
Drew,
too,
have a good night, man. All right, man.
All right, we got a winner, Drew. We got a winner, and how would you know it? It was Chicano Prophet. He says, cause he picked BJ Saunders against Canelo. I'm gonna add you on IG. Fire. So Chicano Prophet, I'm gonna send you that Lukey boxing book. You don't need to buy it. I will send it to you. Make sure you send me your info on Instagram. Great calls, man. If you want to, hey, Chicano, if you got time to call us, man, give us your take on the Teofimo situation.
You know what?
What? I see the glasses.
First of all, I'm not a glorified hype man. You know, I train my son well. I'm the best trainer in the fucking world. You know, he won all rounds against Sandor Martin and everything. You know, only positive thing about that, negative thing about that fight was I didn't show up with a drink and everything in that corner. You know, it's fucking bullshit and everything. He beats them all. We making money. We're gonna go on pay-per-view and everything. Bob, get us some pay-per-view. Fuck out here. See, I don't need to fucking you talking no more, you fucking annoying motherfucker.
Damn. Drew Evo with the Teofimo LOpez Sr. impression again. Man, let me know what you guys think of that impression. I think it's getting better, man. I honestly do. And we'll see if we see more of him or less of him going forward in Teofimo's career, man. I wish him the best, man. Hopefully we'll see. We'll see what happens with his career. If he gets this title shot, he will need to retool his camp. That is for sure at the very least. All right, I'm going to talk about the last fight, Drew, because this one was impossible to watch. I had a homeboy who said, my homeboy, shout out to my homeboy Mike. I don't want to get him in any trouble, but he sent me this, one of those, what do you call those things? Those jailbreak boxes. And he's like, oh, you're going to watch everything for free, right? But I could not watch this for free for the life of me, Drew. I could not fight the Terrence Crawford pay-per-view special against David Avanesian. So shout out to BLK Prime. Drew said he saw it one way or another. I couldn't watch it. And it turned out to be, from the highlights that I've seen, man, it turned out that it was a great fight. Before we move on to that in our takes, we got another call. So let's take the 503 call real
Chicano.
quick. Hey, 503, you're on the Shoe Shine.
What's happening, fellas? This is the Chicano Prophet calling in.
Chicano, man, hey, congratulations on that win. Of course, you would remember the BJ against Canelo, so I'm glad somebody got it right away, and I'm more than happy to send you a copy of Lukey's extended edition. Just make sure you add me on Instagram, man. But give me your take on the Teofimo, man. It was a very close fight. Second knockdown wasn't counted by the referee. Even then, it could have at most been a draw. I'm trying to look at that scorecard more closely. What's your take, man? You think Teofimo's got problems looking ahead at 140 pounds?
Well, I'm looking forward to that book. Thank you very much, Dave. And yes, it was most satisfying watching Drew take that pie to the face. But to answer your question, yes, I do think that Teofimo does have some problems at 140 pounds. I agree with everybody that he does need a trainer switch, you know. But I feel like everybody's jumped the gun on this idea that it could have possibly been a robbery or that Sandor Martin clearly got a win. I didn't see it that way. The knockdowns, you know, those are debatable, you know, as far as like, were they legally knockdowns? I guess you could say that, but it's not like Teofimo is being put on his ass, and that's a problem for him at 140 pounds. He wasn't put on his ass, but I'll tell you this. Teofimo, he does need improvements, but I'm glad Teofimo got the decision on that. We're not going to reward people like Sandor Martin, who all they do is wait around on the back foot for somebody else to do something. only to pot shot and run around the ring. If you put two Sandor Martins in the ring against each other, it will suck and nobody will watch that fight. And, and boxing will be worse off for it, man. We're there to watch combat, man. And, that style is awful, bro. It's awful, and it shouldn't be rewarded. We're already losing fans by generation. We're there to see a fight. I want to see a fight. Teofimo was there to fight. Yeah, he did a lot of things wrong. I do think he needs to retool completely, but you know what? I'm not writing him off. I think he's still a great athlete. I think he's got a lot of potential, but he does need to change his style because the guys are getting taller and longer at 140 pounds.
And stronger.
He's not the big man anymore, so he needs to adjust his style.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not writing him off. He's very athletically gifted. But it's concerning that he's walking into shots, so he's got to find someone who's going to correct those mistakes and quickly, because walking into those shots for light-fisted Sandor Martin was able to score knockdowns on him. So the scorecard is debatable. I did put a question mark on that. Of course, it's clickbait that there was a robbery. You're right, too, Chicano, that these aren't the type of fighters that typically you want to see on ESPN, regular ESPN, to the general public, because they're not appealing. They're not appealing. I mean, if you put two of those guys, like you said, the ratings would be through the tank. But I'm ready to move on to this Terence Crawford situation. If you guys both are, Chicano, if you want to give your quick take. Does Crawford look like he's number one, man? Errol Spence was involved in another car accident. A 14-year-old hits him. Kudos to Terence Crawford for keeping busy, even if it's against a French contender like David Avanesian. What were you impressed Saturday by this highlight reel knockout by Terence Crawford?
I'll tell you, I was impressed at the very end. Like, I was watching the fight. I was watching both fights at once. And when I was watching Terence Crawford, I found myself thinking, wow, Crawford didn't hit a lot. I feel like he's not moving around like he used to be able to. He's not throwing as hard as he used to or with the speed. And then all of a sudden, he gets the heads up that his gloves are going to get switched out, and he just decides to just lay Avanesian out. It's almost like he was playing possum or just getting a workout, working off the ring rust. Like, he was toying with Avanesian, and I didn't realize it until he did decide to turn it on, kind of like he decided to just turn it on with Porter, right?
And I was at that fight. I was at that fight, and I thought, shit, Porter's doing incredibly well. I was going into the later rounds, 10-11. I saw Nando get into it with Dan Canobio of CompuBox on Twitter because he proposed that maybe perhaps Terence was toying with them or shaking off some ring rust or whatnot, not giving due credit to David Avanesian landing all those clean shots early on. But I got to kind of agree with both of you and Nando. I think he was shaking off some ring rust, getting some rounds in, and maybe trying to look vulnerable, but also a combination of it's been a long layoff and age. Maybe he was taking those shots that didn't necessarily hurt him or impact him at all. Drew, were you concerned that Terence Crawford was taking flush shots by David Avanesian early?
Nah, I wasn't concerned at all. Like, be honest, he's doing that to try to get the top guys to want to fight him, to make him feel vulnerable. And the thing about it is, they're not going to fight him. Like, seriously, if you look at it like this, it's his 10th straight knockout, and it's another top 10 opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, really, what the fuck are we going to see after this? Like, really, it's just really a bad spot for Terence Crawford right now because he's not getting the Errol Spence fight. And the other most sensible thing to do is to move to 154 because you're not getting the Spence fight. I know you're not going to fight Roger Ortiz. You're not going to fight a Boots Ennis and everything. Just go up to 154 and just see what you can do at 154 because Errol Spence dug Terence Crawford. Plain and simple. And anybody wants to, give excuses for Errol Spence, you can go to the front of the line to the Errol Sexuals, go into a little circle, fist pump if you want. You'll probably be the only motherfucker fist pumping. And be happy with Errol Spence fighting fucking last time Keith Thurman. When the fuck has he been fucking one time?
Well, let me ask Chicano, who has a great show. By the way, you guys, make sure you subscribe to my homeboy Chicano Prophet. He's on the phone with us, who has a great show, Al Chile, on YouTube. I got to ask you, Chicano, now going forward, he's well over 35 years old. The Spence fight looks like it will never materialize. It looks more possible that he can get a fight against Charlo at 154. Or does he entice somebody like Boots Ennis from Philadelphia? Does he take the tougher challenge and say, hey, Boots Ennis, you're not signed to Al. Come and fight me over here at the new BLK. Chicano, you still on the phone?
Well, I think Terrence Crawford yes, I think he's in a very interesting position. Great options for Terrence Crawford, but I do think that he should stay away from the young guns unless he's got a very good reason to fight these guys, right? I mean, it's one thing if you just want to stay in reign, but I mean, if you only have one belt at 147, like how impressive is it to beat one of these guys who haven't really proven anything yet, right? And if you watch them, like who knows, what they'll be able to do later on, these young guns. So if you fight somebody who's more established, like a Charlo, go and fight an undisputed champion like a Charlo. I think that does more for your legacy. On top of that, it would lead Errol Spence coming to you eventually, right? Because he needs to move up in weight as well. So I think the smart thing would be for him to go up to 154 because it is impressive. And, and like we've seen with Teofimo moving up to 140 and a plethora of other examples, it's not so easy just to go up to another weight class and fight the top guys and dominate.
Yeah. I mean, for legacy, I have to agree with you. I mean, there's nobody I'd want to see him fight other than Charlo, man, and snatch up all the 154-pound titles. He'd be the first person in the history of the sport of boxing to be undisputed in more than one weight class. Just a phenomenal feat. And there's a really high risk and low reward in him fighting Boots Ennis, Drew. So, like you said, I don't think he has any plans on fighting a contender like Boots Ennis. And while we're on the subject, man, congratulations. I know Nando's putting it on here that it's a done deal. Virgil Ortiz will fight Stanionis. That's something good that the sanctioning bodies have produced currently this month. That's a fight that I can't wait to see between two legitimately top 5 welterweights in the world, man. That is a great fight. Something I'd like to see for Boots Ennis too, Drew. He's going to be fighting that guy Karen in January. Not an opponent I'd like to see him against, but that's the way it goes, man. Hey, I'm going to let you go, Chicano, because I'm going to wrap up the show. But tell me real quick, man. This weekend, I'm going to be in Vegas, and there's a great fight between two of the hottest prospects PBC has at 135. And Frank Martin, who trains with Errol Spence, is the Errol Spence kid, versus the Mikel Rivera, the Dominican Republican fighter that looks like Muhammad Ali, man. We already saw one of their top fighters that... God, what's that kid's name at 135 that fights with David? You know what I'm talking about, guys? I'm so far removed from that one. But, hey, who do you have in this fight winning? Two top prospects.
Well, that's a hot little fight. I didn't know that was going on. Enjoy the fight, Dave. I got Michelle Rivera by decision. That's my pick. You guys have a great night, and I'll listen in the rest of the way.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks, Chicano. That's Chicano Prophet from Al Chile. Me closing down the phone lines as we get ready for Drew's epic rant of the week. Drew, 2 great fights, and one of them is tomorrow morning before I get to Rivera versus Martin because it's a pick'ems fight for me, man. I haven't made up my mind on this one yet. I got a lot of shit I got to do before taking off. Tomorrow morning, man, it's coming right around the corner, but Inoue the Monster, he has a co-promotional deal with Top Rank. He fights tomorrow morning, Drew, probably for you, 5 hours. I don't even know what time I have. But Paul Butler, he is going for undisputed at 118. And then all these fighters at 115, if they want to get some, they can come get it, Drew. You have any predictions for this other than a KO? I'm just putting out right here, guys. Butler's going to get knocked the hell out. I'm going to wake up. I'm not going to... watch this fight. I'm going to wake up and find out Inoue knocked him out. But, Drew, do you have any input on that, man? The monster, Inoue?
Prediction? Pain.
Hey, Paul Butler, congratulate. Hey, shout out to Paul Butler who said he wants it, man. He could have avoided Inoue and not had any part in this, but he says, I'll put my title up against your title. Let's do it in Japan. Why they fight on Tuesdays is beyond me, man. It's strange that they have. You should have might as well been on that New Year's Eve card, but whatever. Tomorrow we're going to have potentially another undisputed champion of the world. And then, like I said, this Saturday in Las Vegas at the Cosmopolitan. I'm very excited for this, Drew, because I'm finally starting to see in some scenarios, and it makes me wonder about the future of PBC when the WWE says that they're openly looking to purchase a promotional outfit. you have them actually putting together two of their top contenders. You know, they have Isaac Cruz at 135 pounds. They have Rolly Romero, who fought Tank. They've got Tank Davis. But these guys look like future stars on their own, and they're going to have to fight each other and figure out which one of these rises to the top, Drew. I like Martin, athleticism. I like his power. I'm picking Martin, even though I haven't given it that much thought. I know Rivera can slick as hell and can box, Drew, but I think Martin's going to get to him. But what can you tell me about these two guys?
I pick Martin by knockout. Late knockout. Rivera is a slick boxer, but the thing about it is I don't think he's going to be able to keep Martin off of him for 12 rounds to get a decision and everything. And he's going to at the point that he's going to have to take some risk. And he's going to get knocked out, I think. And maybe the 10th round, I'm calling it. 10th round knockout, Frank Martin. But it's a good fight for two prospects.
10 rounds. I think it's just a 10-rounder, Drew, but I'll get my money's worth. And it's going to be a great time. Look forward to seeing everybody in Las Vegas this Saturday night. So it's time to wrap up the show. Congratulations to our boy, Chicano Prophet, who got that bet. I'll be sending him a copy of Lukey Boxing's book. All right, man, if there's anything that the sport of boxing revealed to me this weekend, it's that Baby Anderson from Top Rank is the future in the heavyweight division, man. This kid is sensational, man. Jerry Forrest is a legitimate guy who can give you trouble. Drew, he just beats everybody up, man. This is one great heavyweight contender I am looking forward to seeing more of in Baby Anderson, man. A great contender. All right, as far as the ladies, Drew, I've talked a lot of shit privately about Ebanie Bridges, but she showed me she's got a lot of guts, man. So congratulations to her for silencing some of her critics. We'll see how high her ceiling is. And she's got a gimmick, too. She's attracting an audience all around the world. Gotta have a gimmick.
Skanky stripper.
Yeah, exactly. The skanky stripper, man. So, Drew, last weekend's rant was epic. People are still commenting to me about it, man. So I'm sure you've got a lot to say. So without further ado, it's time for Drew's rant of the week.
I look at a lot of fans today of the sport, and I've looked at fans back in the day of the sport. And fans today tend to be more like followers and not individuals. Seriously, they all are trying to share the same fucking opinion and showing how low IQ a lot of them can be. Seriously, when you have fucking example, Devin Haney and the Lomachenko fight. Every motherfucker is today's fan base is going to be followers. And we had this, Devin Haney's too big. Anything else you want to say? Why he's long? No, Devin Haney's too big. A lot of fans today really are followers and do not tend to be individuals, do the research themselves, do not watch the fights eternally themselves, and to comment and make their own points, like we do, like the hardcore fans do, because there are more casual fans today than there are hardcore fans in boxing. And to be honest here, it's a crack of bullshit. It's one of the main reasons why this sport is going downhill on life support. And I think people need to smarten the fuck up and learn the fucking sport of boxing before even commenting on it. When you have people trying to be followers and act like they're smart and they know about the sport, it's fucking sickening to my stomach, and it's sickening to every hardcore boxing fan's stomach. And it's a shame a lot of these fucking guys have YouTube channels. And they tend to be followers, and they tend to be following the people that watch their channel and everything. And they say the one thing, and I was like, he's big. Oh, he has power. Anything else? No, he's big. He's like the fucking stutter and anything. And he look like that. They sound like they have a fucking lisp at the fucking end of it. But it's really horrible how this fucking sports fan base has been. And you were talking about how long, like how sport of boxing has come a long way. You can't say that because you think the fans would be better and everything. But it's gotten worse because there's more casual fans than there is hardcore ones. So at the end of the day, when you got casuals rooting for the likes of Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, and like Willie saying, why you like Tank Davis? Oh, and then after that, you ask him, who you think he's the best? Yeah, I have him pound for pound, top 5 and everything. Oh, I think he beats Loma. I think he beats Shakur Stevenson and everything. Why do you think he beats Shakur Stevenson? Why do you think he beats Lomachenko? He good. End of the fucking day, today's boxing fan is more of a follower and not an individual. And this is the main reason why this sport is going downhill as it is. Because it does not, the fans today, mainly the casuals, do not let this sport be a sport. It makes it be more like a fucking business because the casual fan predicts the fights. The casual fans brings up the fights. And they wind up being horrible fights. Because they gotta please the casual fan to have that guy win, even if he's fighting against a fucking bum or a taxi cab driver. And that's why we get more guys, superstar fighting taxi cab drivers, bums, guys that have no business being in the fucking ring and everything. And it winds up being a fucking disgrace and people wasting their fucking money buying bullshit pay-per-views to watch fucking Tank Davis fight a D-level class fighter. And boxing pros today, and I blame the pros a little bit too, because they try to say, hey, I beat you because I got more Instagram followers than you.
I've heard that.
This is turned into a big fucking joke, this sport. And the fucking today's fans are the main reason why this sport's the way it is. And it's a shame because some of them become YouTubers stealing people's fucking money off super chats because the dumbest shit to fucking give them the fucking hard-earned fucking money because they fucking agree because, oh, he's gonna greet me, I'm gonna give him some money. While we have guys like me and Dave, Nando, Chicano, Nopal, Maestro, Kenny, T, that keep it 100. See, it's my favorite saying because I keep it 100. Why? But end of the day, you need be better, be an individual as a fan, do your own research, think of reason, make your own assumption and everything. Even if you're a casual, take time to watch a fight. Take time to watch classic fucking fights and know this fucking sport and everything. Because hearing casuals talk about boxing a lot is really, really bad. I know females that know more about boxing than the fucking regular casual guy. And that's a fucking shame when females know more about boxing. More of the story is, man, be an individual. Stop being a fucking follower and say, oh, he's too big. Because you're just going to make yourself look like more of a dumbass.
Oh, man, Drew, that just reminded me of the time you and I did that Twitch sports special and we lost to Miss Thickums.
Don't get me started.
And Keyshawn Davis, by the way, shout out to Keyshawn Davis, who looked pretty damn sensational, also a future 135. He was one of the judges, and he told us, hey, don't take it personal, guys. It's business. I got to find that highlight clip, man. Shout out to Keyshawn Davis. I'm Dave from the 408 Hour. Appreciate everybody. Drew made a great point. Hey, Drew and I aren't super chat monetized, so if you want to make sure and double check that you're subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the Shoe Shine. So maybe next year, Drew and I can be monetized and eligible for super chats. Not that we're asking for them, but hey, in the future, that would be an awesome thing to be a monetized content creator. Shout out to everybody that joined us that are content creators. I appreciate you guys as content creators. Mom Food Plan and Things, I see you in here. I saw my homeboy Dan 619, Dan and Yoli on YouTube. Kevin Pre, Graham Chicano Prophet, Al Chile Crew. Everybody here that is a creator, you guys know how much hard work it takes. Drew, yeah.
One more thing. I started streaming again on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Philly Irish Drew Evo. I'm streaming this horror game, Devil in Me. You guys need to watch that shit. There's jump scares, and it actually did make me jump.
Hey, all right, guys, we will see you next week. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well, because like I said, I'm going to be in the 702. And I'll have to pick up the show from there. It's possible with technology and laptops now. So, and one thing that's been on my mind, if you didn't see Adrian Broner's return to the press conference, Drew, I need to figure out what Adrian Broner's going to do to lose that weight, because I'm trying to lose that last bit of weight myself, man. But Adrian Broner, he looks like he had quite a bit of turkey this Thanksgiving, Drew. He don't look anywhere in fighting shape, but that's all right. He's going to have an easy opponent in Ivan Redcatch. But if y'all know how to lose them extra 5 last pounds before I go on camera this weekend, let me know. That's it. That's all we got for tonight, man. Drew, great show as always, man. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out, everybody. Drew and I will see you next week. Thanks for tuning into the Shoe Shine. Appreciate it. Peace and all.